Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this Warcraft Rumble dungeon guide, I'm going to take a look at Deadmines on a Horde week, and specifically this Sneed army. Sneed is the weakest of the Horde leaders, and I have been testing Sneed for several days, and I have finally found an army that I was able to complete this dungeon with at minus 2.7 levels. And no cheating, every mini is really way below the dungeon level, so yeah, just check this out. First, let's take a quick look at the dungeon mechanics. We first post Mr. Smite, sabers and pistols, then anchors away. The theme of Deadmines generally is free stuff. Smite has free stuff. These are free. These are free, they respawn as well. These are free. There's also going to be a Stonehoof Tauren that's in stealth, that's going to come walk through this pipe and then attack your base. And all of that stuff is free. So you're fighting a bit of an uphill battle. The way I like to fight against Mr. Smite is that I like to take this stone. That means that most of the attacks are going to come from this direction. I also like to turn this arrow so that when I fight against the pushes that are coming from here, then my army, after it survives that, then it moves along here over the bridge, and I focus my assaults on Smite to come from here. And that also means that I have easy access to these two gold veins. This gold vein, I just completely abandoned that. I don't want to take this stone either, because if I take this stone, then Smite might start pushing to the other side, and I don't want that to happen. So just move over here, move over here. The Tauren, you can use Whelpex, for example, over here on the pipe, and then they will attack Tauren. You can also use chickens. Chickens are good against Tauren, chickens are good against Prowler. There's multiple alternatives on how you can do this. The second boss, Cookie, takes free stuff to the maximum, because Cookie has all of these squads of free units that it gets. First they come from this side, and then they start to attack you from here, and then they come from this side, gather here and start attacking from here. So they take turns coming from one side and the other, and all of this stuff is free and in addition to what Cookie has usually. For this one, there are 3 lanes. I typically want to take these 2 lanes. The order can differ a little bit, either this one first or this one first. I like to take these chests early, so I often turn these arrows and something to grab those chests, and I like to send a miner at the start, because there's this gold vein with 2 nuggets on it ready, and if you can send a miner out there, then you will get those instead of Cookie. Then you just need some way to handle these big swarms. It can be Living Bomb, Blizzard, Safe Pilot, Whelpex. There's a few alternatives how you can handle those, but some way to handle these and then grab some towers and then push at Cookie. One thing to note is that there's this arrow over here, and you know where the next free squad is going to come from. So it's a good idea to launch your pushes from the center, because then you can control where your push is going to go so that they don't just run straight into free minis, but they can actually get to Cookie. Finally, there's the third boss, Sneed, and Sneed is a really annoying boss where slight lapse in concentration can immediately lose you the game, because there are these 2 platforms. They are connected. When they are sparkly like this, then the next mini that steps on it is going to be destroyed, and 5 copies of that mini are going to come down this lane. And then the platforms go on a cooldown for a little while, and then after a little while they start sparkling again, and then again the next mini that comes is going to come in 5 copies. So you need to pay careful attention to the platforms, pay attention to what gets copied, maybe use some unbound minis so that they get copied instead of something like a Molten Giant. And another thing is that you want to control this bridge, because when the minis come down over here, if you have ranged minis on the bridge, then they can immediately shoot the newcomers before they can do anything. So that can help even if you face something like Molten Giants. Typical strategy against Sneed would involve taking this tower first, then taking this tower, then assaulting Sneed from here, or potentially just defending and then using Whelpex and Quillbore or something, unbound spam, to just kill Sneed while you're defending against everything that Sneed has to offer. This is my Sneed army for Deadmines. I'm using Witch Doctor, Frostwolf Shaman, Living Bomb, Footman, Batrider, and Angry Chickens. Living Bomb does not need to be high level, so I can use that siege slot. I don't have any siege minis here. I can use that for the Living Bomb, and everything else gets bonuses. I also did this at minus 1.9 levels with Sneed tanking instead of Footman, but Sneed is the weakest tank of all of these Horde leaders, so Sneed was 2 levels below the dungeon level. Sneed no longer could tank it reliably. However, Footman can tank this even 3 levels below the dungeon level. So I'm using Footman as tank, Shaman as a healer, then trying to use Witch Doctor with that Spirit Ward. So getting those shields, they prevent executes, they prevent chain lightnings from killing your chickens. They're just wonderful. And Batrider for some blasting as well. For Cookie, we have the Living Bomb here, so that handles Cookie. And this team also has what it takes to push through and beat Sneed itself in the final fight. And yeah, it's awesome. And this is what it all looks like in action. So here we go, Sneed taking down Deadmines at minus 2.7 levels. And we start by blasting Mr. Smite to smithereens with our footmen. And then we have the shaman who's going to be healing those footmen. Also turns my witch doctor into armored. Footmen are already armored. Now we have the ward coming, we have healing, we have more wards coming. I really hate it when witch doctor decides to start shooting at the bear because it takes ages to kill the bear through the healing. If the witch doctor would only shoot at something else, but oh well, it's still going to work out. And eventually we are going to get these kills, yes, and we get ward on the chickens. Those are some invincible chickens right there. I'm chasing the arrow back, so I'm taking the stone. I'm using the chickens to take the stone, but I mostly want to go through the gold lane. And here that actually ended up backfiring a little bit on me because I was unable to keep the stone because of that prowler. It's quite rare for the AI to get the prowler to go through that stone that early, but sometimes it happens. Anyway, I'm confident that we will be able to recover. We have the team together and it's going to be great. Sending the witch doctor to support the footman. Witch doctor kills those spiderlings very quickly. They're vulnerable to elemental damage, and that also gives me the ward. And now I do need to send some troops to reclaim that stone, because that stone now turned into a battlefield, which is not fun. However, with shaman, with some chickens, alright, stone is mine again, and I can move back towards the middle. Alright, now there is a push coming from the left, so I need to take care of that push, and then I have the arrow pointed across the bridge, so once I handle the push, then my army is going to make a push through the middle, ensuring that I have clean access to the gold, and also getting to challenge that Smite. Because what I really want to do here, I want to get the aggression on, because once I have good pressure on Smite, then the AI will focus on defending Smite, and all of these attacks from all over the place towards my base are going to end. But for now they're still coming. I deploy Sneed there because I just didn't have much else to do, and Sneed is just enough. And alright, now we have those down. We can prevent some mining, yes we could, and we have cleared some path for ourselves to mine, which is awesome. So far so good. Actually this has been going pretty poorly. I haven't been able to wrest control of the game so far. But Smite is the kind of battle where nothing is lost as long as the overall situation is okay. Like, okay, the AI hasn't gotten to mine a whole lot, so I haven't lost a ton of gold. I'm not a big gold disadvantage. My base is still reasonably healthy, so everything is still possible at this point. And Smite can fall fairly quickly in overtime if you have a good push going right then. So even though I prefer to kill Smite within the first 2 minutes, if I get a really good push first, and then I can reinforce it from the stone, that's the ideal situation, and often I manage to kill Smite with just that combined push and just reinforcing that when Smite is just giving reinforcements also to try to defend. This time I didn't manage to do that, but I'm reasonably stable. I have control of the stone that I want. My base is, well, not super healthy, but it's okay. So everything should be completely fine here. Just dropping some minis over there, the assault, and then just in time getting the footmen here to defend, because a bunch of footmen can defend really well. Together with chickens, footmen soak the damage. It's all physical damage, footmen are armored, they're going to soak a ton of that damage. And I also have the push going, and now that I defeated the Smite's push, and I have this much pressure on, that means that there will be no more attempts at my base during this overtime. I can focus everything on killing Smite. And Batrider doing a phenomenal job there, because the stealth troll and friends spawn and they die instantly to the flames, and boom, Smite went down. Alright, then we go to map 2 to Cookie. So ideally I would want chickens to grab the chest, and I would send a miner to the right. This time I can send the chickens when I put a Batrider. I put the Batrider as far behind as possible so they would come in slowly. And then I have enough time to get those footmen out there, and I should be able to get a miner. I managed to grab a couple of extras extras for the living bomb there. It's important. It's good to wait until you can see if there's something being summoned that you can also destroy with the living bomb. In particular with this specific comp, I don't have a ton of ways to handle Griffin Riders, so it was great that I managed to kill the Griffin Rider with the living bomb. Obviously, Witch Doctor can do it, and Shaman can do it as well, but I don't really have a ton of anti-air. Here my tower is ready just in time. So this is going to be splendid. Maybe it's a little bit too far ahead. I'm trying to do living bomb so that the cookie will take some damage. Took a little bit, but not too much. But now I'm in the position where I want to be. I have control of 2 towers. There I needed to defend it because a solo prowler will kill a tower. So I have control of 2 towers. Now I'm trying to get always some cheap mini chickens, or the Witch Doctor will unlock both chests for me. And I'm trying to send assault waves with footmen at the front. And I'll try to send them on the side where there won't be the next mini spawn, the group spawn. Because obviously if I send my attack wave and then they just run into the group, then that's the attack wave wasted. But when I send the attack wave to the other side and I living bomb the group, then all is going smoothly. I'm getting a little bit there to get rid of the chain lightning so I can get to mine. And once I get to mine, I will be able to living bomb this group. Boom. They're going down. They're not exactly going down, but a simple Bat Rider, all the ranged minis are going down. Bat Rider will help a lot. You have to be careful with the chickens on the left side push, because there's gnolls involved with that. So obviously chickens can't fight into gnolls. Gnoll has AoE, but you can send chickens from behind once the gnoll is already attacking at your base. Here we get a push in at Cookie. And now, because the next group is going to spawn on the right side, then the next push I'm going to send is going to come from the left side. Pretty simple, really. So here another push is coming, and now I'm trying to get a living bomb. I hope to get a living bomb before the group leaves, because I want that living bomb to also damage Cookie. And boom, there you can see Cookie took a good large chunk of damage from that. And then the next wave I'm now sending to the right. Although that wave actually is not going to get anywhere because chickens will be instantly killed by Cookie. And anyway, chests are spawning. I'm using a cheap mini to grab them. This time I managed to lose a tower, but I had a Bat Rider there, so Bat Rider is going to make it all good. No worries. Except that then there's going to be that Huntress next. But Cookie is very, very low. So at this point I'm thinking, okay, I can actually just allow that tower to fall. My base still has health. My base still has enough health left to fight against the Huntress. I'm just going to kill this Cookie right now, and I'm going to ignore that tower. No need to defend anymore when I'm already winning. And boom. And finally we meet Sneed itself. I want to get something to contest that chest. Ideally I would have sent footmen there, but I did not want to give the chest to the enemy, so Sneed was the mini that I had available. Sneed is the one that I sent there. That's how we roll. And then, I still managed to lose the chest. I should have been a little bit faster there. Get the footman out there before I lose the chest. Would have saved me 2 gold. That would have been pretty important. But anyway, we're still doing reasonably okay, because the opponent has now exhausted their resources. Nothing new is coming. I know that there won't be a safe pilot immediately there, so I had enough time for the chickens to take the base, and that was important. Safe pilot came, but it was too late anyway. There was no chance for that safe pilot to kill my chickens. And then, next up, that Molten Giant just barely did not get copied. Phew, that was close. Trying to mine a little. I want to get my chickens against that Molten Giant, because chickens are actually pretty good against Molten Giants. Molten Giant single target attack, yeah, it hits hard, but there are many, many chickens. Also, this time I happen to have the relic that makes those chickens bigger every time it hits. So that also helps. Chickens will still die instantly to any damage. Levels only add some more DPS. Okay. With those chickens covering the central lane, I'm now sending troops to try to capture the tower. And also trying to use a cheap mini to open the chest, and then the mini probably has some other uses in the future as well. Trying to send a little bit of healing behind my troops. Well, now the Bat Riders could be annoying, but I happen to have Witch Doctor and Shaman, and together they just make short work of the Bat Riders, so everything is going really well. Now there's a battle at the platform. I hate it when there's a battle on the platform, because then it makes really unexpected what happens to get copied. But here I feel okay. I already have some damage on those footmen, and I can just send my own to fight against them. And just look at this. Now we're making a big push with double healers. We should have everything here to kill Sneed. Sending a little bit more healing power over there. Now the only worry I have is whether that Molten Giant hits my base too hard and too fast. But nope, my team is good enough and Sneed is down. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.